And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Okay, a fire weather update here for Friday, July 18th. For the upper Yukon, Tanana Valley are the highest concern as temperatures in the 70s will continue into the weekend. And western interior fuels are not getting the opportunity to dry out. And there are chances for showers with isolated thunderstorms in the interior today, and that'll increase tomorrow. And the outlook is for warmer weather this weekend. That looks like it will give way to cooler and damper conditions as a low in the Bering Sea brings southwest flow to the interior early next week. And moving on to tomorrow's fire danger forecast, not too bad, pretty low over much of the interior. We've got the usual area of high fire danger here in the Yukon Flats and along the lee side of the eastern Alaska Range. They're kind of a little bit up into the 40-mile country, and also there in the Copper River Basin. Otherwise, not too bad around the remainder of the state. And for satellite imagery here, we have low pressure tracking northwestward there, currently right into Norton Sound now as it continues to weaken. Another system here pulling northeastward along the Alaska Peninsula, pushing more rain into Kodiak Island, and a narrow band of clouds up here in the north. And some showers, isolated showers, moved into mostly the northern panhandle today. They're pretty light. Juneau picking up about 0.03 of an inch during the day today from one of those showers. And out here to the west, we've got, again, this low tracking northeastward here, another low out here over the northwest Bering Sea, and yet another system there south of the western Aleutians. And the forecast for tonight, that system will push eastward here and bring a pretty widespread area of light rain, fog, and drizzle into the central Aleutians there, back to Chimay-Attu. The low up here to the north of that center with this front keeps it wet over the Pribilof Islands into the southwest coast. Moisture, a new low develops along that front, and or that other system continues to push northeastward here. And again, rain will continue across Kodiak Island and push up into the southern Kenai Peninsula, southern Cook Inlet area, and extend back to the northwest. Here, areas of rain back to the northwest across the central and southern Kuskokwim Valley, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta area. Otherwise, it should be a dry evening and most of the overnight period for northern Cook Inlet, south central Alaska, Copper River Basin, all the way up to the Arctic coast with variable clouds. Some areas seeing more clearing than others. And those showers should pretty much end. They weren't all that widespread today, but they should be pretty much over this, along the southeast coast there with maybe some clearing, also clouds that go along with it, but winds will be light just about all areas of the state. And for tomorrow, a little breezy up here along the portions of the Arctic coast, east-northeasterly winds, maybe 15 to 25 miles an hour in some locations. Isolated showers develop on Friday along the Brooks Range, and also a little bit to a greater extent here along this trough axis, extending from the upper Tanana Valley west there toward the Solowik Valley. And also this system weakening now, the front really breaking up here across southwest Alaska, just some scattered showers associated with that by tomorrow afternoon. And then from the Yukon River back to the west-northwest, more of an area of light rain into the Norton Sound area, up across most of the Seward Peninsula, St. Lawrence Island, a break south of that, and the next system here pushing some rain eastward here into the eastern Aleutians and into the far western Alaska Peninsula, and then some more rain moves in to the Pribilof Islands, probably late morning hours, and then drying out behind that front over the western Aleutians, and then moving on to the first day of the weekend. Low pressure holding out here over the western Bering Sea. North of the Aleutians, so looking pretty dry here across much of the Aleutian chain. Could see some clearing behind that front, pushing to the Pribilof Islands. Otherwise, dry conditions for the Alaska Peninsula. Some scattered showers along the remnants of this trough, or this front, or trough, here for Kodiak Island up along the north coast of Bristol Bay. And then holding together better here along the southwest coast and over actually the Yukon Delta up into Norton Sound. Isolated afternoon showers here along the mountains of southern Alaska with partly to mostly sunny skies in store for Saturday here. Could see a few showers on the south coast of the Kenai Peninsula and also along this trough here up over the interior, but the north slope and Arctic coast will remain dry with still breezy conditions there, a little bit of a gradient, so those northeast winds or east northeasterlies will continue, and partly to mostly sunny skies. And definitely dry for the North Gulf Coast and the Panhandle. And looking at the day for Sunday, the outlook here, partly mostly sunny, dry conditions, light winds for the Panhandle, North Gulf Coast as well. Very nice day coming up for south central Alaska, partly mostly sunny conditions here. Susitna, Matanuska Valley, Prince William Sound, into the Kenai Peninsula. Could see an afternoon shower or two develop, maybe down around Homer, Seldovia, and around Cairns Head, mostly south of Resurrection Bay there. Otherwise, back to partly to mostly sunny for Kodiak Island. And then this front pushing a fair amount of moisture with a widespread area of light rain and some moderate showers here over the western interior, all the way from Togiak Bay northward into the central Brooks Range in the western north slope there, back into the Seward Peninsula, St. Lawrence Island. Drier conditions to the south, as you can see, kind of improving here over the Bering Sea with some possible clearing again for the Pribilof Islands and areas from Atka Island westward. Weak trough right through here, kind of coming up from the southwest, may bring some light rain, fog, IFR type conditions there into the eastern Aleutians. And for the lows tonight, 40s and 50s across much of Alaska again, but cooler 30s up along the Arctic coast there and into the North Slope. Otherwise, looking at the highs for tomorrow, 70 to 75 central and eastern interior areas, right around 70 for Galena up towards Ambler in the Kobuk Valley there, and then into the 50s and 40s out toward the Bering Sea coast. Highs staying in the 30s up here, mid-30s for the central Arctic coast, upper 30s off to the east. And the southeast coast, highs in the mid to upper 60s. Mid-70s, Copper River Basin, mid to upper 60s, or in the 60s for south central Alaska, mid-50s for Kodiak Island. And then the lows on Saturday morning, really not dropping much lower than the highs up there for the Arctic coast, but still down. Some areas could drop a shade below freezing there. 40s for the Brooks Range, 40s and 50s across much of the remainder of the state, including the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And then highs on Saturday afternoon. A little cooler here, upper 60s to lower 70s for the central and eastern interior, with 50s and 60s back to the west, with again all that moisture coming in, clouds and rain, helping to keep the temperatures down. Mid 60s Bristol Bay, upper 50s Kodiak, 60s here Copper River Basin and south central Alaska, as well as the southeast coast.